Good evening, everyone. This is Anthony, Wall Street Trader, 6:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, October 18th, 2021. This is not financial advice. The video is educational. Click the subscribe and the bell to be notified when these videos come out. Click the thumbs up if you like the video, and share the video with your friends and colleagues for those who are interested in the greatness of the graph and its related price action. Intraday updates on that Twitter link below. Straight into the markets, graph relative to the dollar. 76.29, that stubborn line of 76. It's killing me, but I'm just gonna zoom out again because it's such a beautiful picture here. Let's just take this in for one moment. For those of you who might know me, you'll probably know I'm a little crazy, but when I like this stuff excites the hell out of me. Now what I'm seeing right here is we've got a few more weeks left in terms of something that could potentially go bananas, and I'm not saying it will go bananas once we do the bouncy boo out of this green line. And if we do bouncy boo out of that green line, well, it could be a delayed reaction. Like I mentioned yesterday, it's interesting that looking at New Cipher where we have this broadening wedge, when it breaks, it's going to be great. And it was like it started fizzling out and it finally blossomed. It's almost like a delayed reaction. Sometimes that happens. I've noticed this happening. If you look at a lot of these crypto booms on these altcoins, you see a pattern and it's like a dud, and then suddenly out of nowhere it'll come. So I'm going to continue to monitor this one. I love the graph. It's Web 3.0, and those who are on the in, especially like developers and people in technology or in the cutting edge of financial fintech world, you'll know like this is the new internet. But anyway, for those that don't and are just interested in playing along, then you just look at the technicals. But I kind of like, before I get into technicals, I first study the fundamentals, the use case first. I would not cover a crypto on this channel if I didn't actually believe in it first. I don't just sit here and enjoy drawing lines all day. I think about the future use case of it, and therefore I invest more for the long term. And sometimes with the case of New Cipher, things come a little bit sooner. Now the graph, in my opinion, is up next, and it's up at bat. So let's go take a look a little more at the price action here. So we're currently at the on the shorter term time frame here, and I mentioned I tweeted it out yesterday. If we go down to 73, I'm going to go start chopping some more on it. I have about 100% into it. I don't have the slide up, but tweeted it out. If you're on my Twitter, you'd be able to see that picture of my current exposure to the graph. Now there's a small little mini-me little triangle in here, which is only a couple of days in the making. So something's going to give. I think we're probably going to there's nothing imaginable that will take us out of the bigger triangle for the big boom. But right now, I think we're just going to consolidate for the moment. Now, let's look over to graph relative to Bitcoin. Still staying over that 1181 target on the bottom. And we are range bound, 1330 to 1178 or 1180. Not a big deal. We're okay there, in my opinion. And this looks like we have some good, solid line of support. So probably in the next day, maybe by the morning, probably by the morning, I think we're going to see a little bit of action here, meaning I'm going to get my 73 cents, or it's going to start getting back up into this range, 76 to 82. And but right now it feels like it's kind of hanging around here right now, but I think we're close to something happening there. In the meantime, over at Bitcoin futures ETF coming out tomorrow. Everyone should be aware of it. Futures, for those who know, back in when Bitcoin was just starting its journey on the way up, got clobbered back in late of 2017. Futures desks started popping up. The CME started trading futures, and Bitcoin started taking a complete nosedive, as well as Ethereum. And I owned it back then as well. And I'll tell you right now, it was just a disaster. Well, years later, now here we are 4 years later, and we're looking at a futures ETF coming out. So it has me a little bit concerned, but it doesn't mean that the sky's going to fall. Why? Because we already have a futures market out there. But a lot more could get created. ETFs have this creation and redemption process. based on demand. So I'd imagine there's going to be a lot of created futures ETFs. So we'll see how that plays out. Obviously, we all want the spot ETF. The spot ETF is being hopefully will be submitted for approval by Grayscale, and hopefully in the next couple of months that thing's going to be out, because that's the one I'd prefer to trade, not the futures one. The futures one is not as effective. Anyway, Bitcoin dominance. No matter what happens tomorrow when that Bitcoin ETF is released, no matter what, this will go up because of one of two things: fear when the market goes bananas, or it will go up because of exuberance. I don't think this thing's going down anytime soon. I think it's going to continue its churn up to 60-20. In the meantime, the graph, give me a break. I mean, every time I say I wanted a price, it never makes it down there. But let's see. It's only a few pennies away. I'm just looking for 73 cents. I'm 100% allocated into it in terms of what I want to risk in the graph. But I'd be willing to put another 25% on it in the event it hits that price level, because I do believe that, it's a really good point. When you look at the bigger picture very clearly up here, 280, that's the thing I want to beat on this rally once this thing breaks out properly. Anyway, everyone have a good night. Bye.